Digital measures is, from my perspective, kind of an umbrella term for all of the different kinds of evidence that we are generating based on data coming out of sensors, wearables, connected homes, really any kind of connected technology. One of the biggest opportunities that digital measures present is that they enable us to create a better connection between the everyday lived experience of patients and their caregivers and other stakeholders, and the decisions that are being used to drive drug development and care management.
In 2020, the Biomarkers Consortium at the Foundation for the FNIH was asked by the FDA to coordinate a workshop to discuss how digital measures are informing the development of biomarkers and how these can be used for drug development and in clinical care. We used that format again in 2022 to put together a series of case studies to highlight how digital measures have been used in clinical care, in trials, in patient care, and in technology development. It was really crucial that we brought in the patient voice for each one of those case studies so that we could understand how they were involved, what they got out of the experience, what they were able to add to the trajectory of the technology development. And we could really see how development of these digital measures was supported by the inclusion of these multiple voices.
We're really starting to embed the patient voice in a lot of different research consortiums and different groups. And I think that is a big step forward in the last couple of years within this space. I think we really need to build on that further. It's definitely not an area where we can sit back and rest on our laurels. We can't assume that because we've done this good work that we kind of know what the patient thinks.
At FNIH, patient engagement in research design is a broader initiative for these partnerships to be really proactive in including patients as true partners early and with greater equity and ownership. We are engaging patients in educating us on how digital measures can add value to their life and the study of their conditions. This, ultimately, is how we can truly find solutions that benefit all.
So what was a real key takeaway for me was that multi-stakeholder is the only way to go forward in this paradigm shift, and to bring patients in as equal partners to allow them to have a voice at the table, but also give insights that bring real value to those future digital measures.
I think that digital measures and tools in the healthcare space will lead to advances in quality of care for patients and hopefully quality of life. But we also have to be careful that we implement these tools with considerations for things like diversity, equity, and inclusion, and ensure that we reach the hardest to reach voices as well.
I don't think we're at the point that we have a checklist for involving patients into digital measure development, but we are approaching the point where we have a blueprint for how we do that.
I have found when we convene all the stakeholders together, we have conversations that are more creative, we find more innovative solutions, we respect and value the diverse voices, we can move the needle and find common ground that ultimately improves patients' well-being.
Engaging diverse patient voices is the only way to ensure that a treatment or therapeutic device is usable, accessible, and helpful for all patients from all walks of life.
How are you meant to develop something that has value for patients when you don't have any tools to measure patient value? And that, for me, is the big opportunity here.
We're really excited about the opportunity to put on a subsequent workshop to build on our previous work, in which we'll invite similar stakeholders from FDA, EMA, the technology companies, the patients, and patient advocacy groups. And our hope is that with all these participants in this conversation, we can really bridge to the future of digital health and build breakthroughs with digital measures.
So yeah, it's really exciting where the field is going. I think the next meeting is going to be very, very exciting.